Good evening, all you stackers out there. Tonight, we have something special for you. We're going to be having the great debate about 90% constitutional silver, not junk silver. We'll be kicking it off soon. Primary channels on If You Know, You Know, but we are also hanging out over here having this conversation. So thanks everybody for coming in here. Yeah, obviously we have the Iran conflict, but we will be getting started soon. Hang in there. Appreciate you guys for watching. Yep, good to go. They're setting the stage right now, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Let us know in the chat who you think's got a good argument, who you're working with. What do you think about junk silver or constitutional silver, 90% silver, whatever you want to call it. Should be a good little conversation. I'm not sure how long we're going to go, but we'll be set up here soon. I got to run multiple mics just to keep this thing working. Good to go on my end. Hang in there, folks. We're coming. All right, we should be getting started here soon, folks. I had a little bit of audio difficulties with one of our guests here, so we'll be getting going soon here. Until we get off paper silver, then the true silver price will never show. That is true. Oh, here we go.
Rusty old jar, pine tree roots, long time. Thought I had treasure in a shoebox safe, counting tarnished faces in a one-room place. Tried to hit the pond, they just laugh, what's this? Paying by the ounce, that face don't mean. Fee on the scale, spread on the deal. Watch my savings evaporate, ain't real. Walk through the forest, pockets just clang. Dead weight dragging on my hip, no bang. All that talk about history, rare and rich, but I'm stuck with scrap I can't even flip, yeah. Junk silver in the soil, that's trash well. Can't cash out, can't help your health. Nobody wants it, it just sits on the shelf. You ain't stacking for the future if you can't sell. Junk silver in the soil that's stuck dream. Locked in metal that can't hit streams. Price look nice till you face the spread. You just holding dead weight by the bed.
Yes. Am I in?
You're in, Pirate.
Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Anybody at all?
I learned slow by the moss in the rain. Counting up losses, counting my pain. Could've had cash in a solid clean stack.
I can't hear
Instead, I got bags, I can't move back. Trees stay quiet, but they still
Oh, I can't hear anybody else talking. I just got your text that you can hear me, but I don't hear anybody else.
The earth take back what it can't
Typical.
redeem. Yeah. Junk silver in the soil that's trash well. Can't cash out, can't help your health. Nobody wants it, it just sits on the shelf. You ain't
Well, I'm
stacking
enjoying
for
the background
future
song,
if
if that counts for anything.
Junk silver in the soil that's stuck dreams. Locked in metal that can't hit streams. Price look nice.
We needed a theme song, you know what I'm saying?
They're still working out some kinks and issues here, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being patient with us. We had a question here. Black Somebody asked, does it need to be 999? I'm pretty sure, Mr. Botus, it needs to be 999 for industrial applications because they need it to be as like conductive as possible, and they wouldn't probably want to
What
have
is up,
stuff.
Fishtown? How we doing? Fishtown debates. We're live. We're having trouble with Pirate. He is struggling. I got Dragoons in the house. What is up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate you having me on. Looking forward to having a good conversation about, not junk silver, constitutional 90% silver, sir.
Yeah, exactly. What did you think about the intro song?
It's fantastic. Yeah, that's great. It was pretty catchy, man. I could listen to that while I'm stacking junk silver.
Yeah. There you go. Well, we'll see if Pirate makes it back. He's asking to be entered. Let's see what he does. Here we
Come
go.
on, Pirate, you got this.
You got this, Pirate. How we doing?
I hear you guys right now.
Woo!
Hear me?
You Raz, we got
Let's
Pirate.
go,
All right.
baby.
All right,
We're
I'm
in this.
All right, well, you're live, brother. You jumped right into the live. Here we go.
Well, ahoy, everybody. I'm here. Let's talk.
All right, let's go. All right, so I tell you what, I'm stoked about this. We got a whole bunch of people in the chat. The chat's flying. Definitely is going. We got all sorts of dudes. We see you all. Thank you for being here. We're just going to jump right into this conversation. So the question is, did you guys hear my video on junk silver? It's failed us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard it and I loved it.
You heard it. You loved it. Dragoons and we had a little conversation back. I'm just going to set the stage, and then I kind of want to get your guys' take on junk silver and just kind of where you're at. So to set the stage, my position is that I feel historically stacking for me has always been the safest asset I've ever had. Stocks I've lost money on, real estate funds, it's not very liquid. Just crypto, that's a wild west. Just metals have always been just a safe haven for me. And I had trouble saving. So it was kind of a gateway to financial freedom in 2014 when I really started stacking heavy. And it kind of taught me how to save. But I was kind of broke back in 2014. So while I was stacking, I also needed my stack to be liquid in case I actually needed it, because I was using metals as a way to save. And what do you got going on there, Pirate?
I was like 21 back in 2014.
Yeah. And so for me, it's something that I've always needed to be liquid. Now I'm at a little bit of a different place now than I am back then. If junk silver isn't super liquid, it doesn't affect me the same way it might affect a new stacker. But I still don't like the idea that silver is that I'm buying things that my dealer turns around and says he doesn't want to buy it back. And so I just feel like there's better options than something that refiners say they don't want and that your LCS says he doesn't want. And so I don't understand what the pushback is on, and stacking's always been about be your own bank, right? Like that's the thing, be your own bank. That's my perspective. I know Dragoons, you're probably gonna have a little bit different perspective than that.
A little bit.
But for me, it's always been about being my own bank. And if I can't make deposits or if the ATM is closed, so to speak, you know what I mean? Like I want to take some junk and get some cash and the ATM is closed, I'm not my own bank. I mean, that's kind of my position where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? You know, like be your own bank, but you can't be your own bank if the ATM's closed.
Well, I want Dragoon to go because you guys already had this sort of thing, and then I'll weigh in because I actually have a thought that I don't think anybody's even considered. So go ahead, Dragoon.
All right. Well, Junk Silver didn't fail you, Fish. You failed Junk Silver. Okay. You started dating her thinking she was a 10. And she was a 6 all along, and then when you finally found out she's a 6, now you're angry? I mean, I think everything is going to be perfectly fine. You said that refiners don't want it and LCSs don't want it. Come on, man. It's temporary. You just got done talking about how you've been stacking for so long, and yet we have a 6-month period where the refiners are backed up, and there's all this massive demand for pure silver, and the market's completely volatile. And it's causing all these LCSs to have constraints on the amount of cash that they're willing to spend in the public. And we're going to use that little 6-month segment as like the, this is the whole future for the rest of our lives. No, it's going to come back. I promise it's coming back. It may, I don't know when, but eventually things will stabilize. Equilibrium will return. And I don't know if it's going to come back to like high over premium, but this whole $15 back, $20 back, I think eventually will fade away. It'll come and shrink down a little bit closer to spot, and everything will be fine. And also a lot more of it will be melted. So those of you out there that are collectors or numismatists or whatever you might want to be, there's gonna be less of the good stuff out there. So I don't think so. I don't think so, Fish. I think we're in a good spot. And it's gonna just keep getting better.
But people do dump their girlfriends because they turn out to be unfaithful. Like it turns out they're unfaithful. And when the girlfriend's unfaithful, you kick her to the freaking curb. You know what I'm saying? And Junk Silver is the most unfaithful SOB I've ever met.
But here's go ahead. One thing real quick. The problem is, though, is you tried to bring your girl into a really nice club, and that nice club said that she couldn't get in. If you could have just taken her to another club and got her in, you know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead, Pirate.
But she's been going to the club for the past 15 years. Why did you kick that now?
The makeup right now.
Her makeup all jacked up and her hair looking horrible, and she just looked like a train wreck. And they said no train wrecks allowed in this.
She's looking like that peace dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, my question on this, because we're guessing at the fact that this is like a one-off due to the run-up. So 2 things. One is, if it continues to run up, does this just continue to lag further and further behind on the go up? The other thing is, it's not even a matter of $15 to $20 behind spot. Literally every LCS I've gone to, flat out, is not buying Junk Silver. So it's not even to the tune of we can get our money, just not as much. Like they're just not even buying it, and that is a liquidity issue. If you're big and you did it right, you've got a good amount of everything, so you're not hurt so much by this. But if you're small and limping in, there was a time when almost all I had was 90% silver because I could get it at a better price, and if I then needed to cash it in and I can't, that's tough. So is this just a sign of things to come, or is this really going to balance out? That's the question.
Well, I think, Dragoon, to your point, and I do think that it's a nuanced argument or nuanced discussion, because like to what Pirate's talking about there, like Silverstruck just did a video, and he basically was talking about, look, not all silver is not silver. Like people are saying silver, it doesn't matter. And he's like, no, silver isn't silver. There's all different types. And he went through the whole thing, but he ended it with basically saying he has a massive amount of 90%. He hasn't sold any of it, and he doesn't plan on it because he thinks it's going to come back. Mm-hmm. And I think a guy like that, or a guy like you, Dragoon, or somebody Stack Daddy's in the chat. I see him there. He says he's way too deep in 90%, but you're deep in a lot of stuff there, Stack Daddy. You stack monster boxes by the box. So when you got a deep stack, I think you can afford to like sit on it and be like, yeah, it's going to come back. And I don't disagree that I think eventually when the markets cool off, it'll be what it's historically been. And I personally believe historically junk has always sold at melt, and then you can buy it at melt from the dealer, and then you can sell it to them like 2 or 3 back. But to Pirate's point, right? A new guy getting into it, what's the cheapest thing I can buy? I mean, I don't know how many videos I've seen that says, hey, if all you can buy is a $50 a week, do it, right? It's better than nothing. And I don't disagree that it's not better than nothing, except if you're trying to build a savings, then no one will buy it back, and you're starting day one, All
right, real quick, let me ask you. You said a lot of you guys, Stack Daddy, whoever else you've mentioned, has been stacking 90% constitutional for a long time, right? Let me ask you, what were you buying it at 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, I got in at 10 times face probably when I first started buying constitutional.
10 times face.
I was buying at 18 times face, pretty steady.
18 face, 10 face. Okay. Anybody in the chat can welcome to say what they've got too. So, I'm looking at it right now. You guys are all talking about how nobody you go to will buy your junk silver from you. And I think that's an LCS problem, not a junk silver problem, to be honest with you. I'm looking right now, Monument Metals. I can ship it for, how much is this? $55.76. So $55 face to Monument. Let's look.
Well, that's barely triple my money.
$55.22 to Money Metals. Vermilion is paying 14 back of spot. I just see somebody sold on a peer-to-peer network a roll, 3 rolls of 90% Kennedy's, $580 a roll. That's 58 face. I gotta say, from 10x, 18x to 50, I don't think that's a failure. I think that's a hell of a win. I think that's a grand slam of a win. And sure, maybe you can't walk up there with, $300 face value and liquidate the entire, LCS's cash flow for the day. But that's why I think that if you're a diligent stacker, you've not only diversified your stack, but you've also diversified your outlets, your potential places to sell. If you needed to liquidate, like you were talking about, Fish, you would already have established those networks, those multiple stores, like you said, build relationships and set up your accounts online and make a couple purchases to get that process going. I mean, I have done these things. I've bought from about 6 different online stores. I've established myself as a reputable buyer and seller on some of these peer-to-peer networks. I've got an eBay store set up. Like there's places for me to liquidate if I needed to liquidate a little bit or a lot. And I don't think constitutional is the failure here. I think it was the plan, the plan and the understanding of what you were doing.
Well, there it is. We can all go home now. You brought a guy on that makes way too much sense.
No.
Problem solved.
But it's a very and forgive me, Dragoons, what I'm going to say. Okay, just forget. Just it's because
say what you gotta say, Fish. I can take it.
Best word I can think of. It's a very selfish, self-centered position you have.
Okay.
Right.
Also,
because metals are booming and all these new stackers are coming in, and what the heck? I gotta freaking hold on. We have a problem. All these new stackers are coming into the community, and they're not set up like me and you. They're just getting started. They're hearing that silver's pumping. They're hearing that gold.
Them how pumping. To do it though.
I mean, yeah, you can, but you can. Okay, so yes, you can set up peer-to-peer networks. Absolutely, you should go visit all your local LCSs. Pirate and I live in the free state of Florida, and I believe we had the best LCSs in the country. But even they are no longer buying constitutional. So my point is that we have a lot of new people, a lot of new eyes on metals. Mm-hmm. And when we sit here and say, well, you should be a diversified stacker. I just started stacking yesterday, dude. How am I a diversified stacker? I'm like, I mean, you got a guy like Sober Stacker, right? He's like a recovering whatever. I'm not sure he's recovering from some sort of addiction. And then he's just stacking it little by little, getting his life together, doing a great thing. But there's a lot of people coming into the community that are just finding it. And they're going to find a bazillion videos that say, if all you can stack is constitutional, buy that. And I mean, I just think that that's
fine, but we've deviated from the whole topic. The topic was that 90% had failed us, with the implication that because I had stacked it in the past and I can't sell it today, because the LCSs won't take it today as a sale, that it's failed us. These purchasers, if they're purchasing 90% today with the expectation to sell it next month or next week, I would tell them straight to their face they should not ever buy metal at this point, any of them, if you're going to try to sell it within a month. It's too volatile. There's too much going on. It's not about
the expectation, though, right? I could die tomorrow, and my wife has to sell my stack.
Okay,
right?
That is a hypothetical that could happen.
It's like I think most people get into stacking thinking they're going to build a big stack, but I can tell you historically in this community, people come and go, and they come and go, and they have to sell their stack. Is it the best thing? No. Because not everyone goes about it the right way, but I think we owe it to people to explain and speak the truth that. I mean, you don't think junk silver's failed you, but I don't. If no one wants to buy it, so it's my fault that they don't want to buy it. Whose fault is it that they don't want to buy it? Is it their fault they don't want to buy it? Whose fault?
Well, I would go off the chain a lot. Right? Yeah, go ahead, Pirate. Whose fault is this?
Stop right there and let me interject. We're asking whose fault is it, and this is where I think we need to really take a look at who made a mistake. And the mistake is not that the refineries can't take it or handle it or pay out. The mistake is the coin shops that started treating it like a bastard son. Because had they continued to purchase it like normal, they'd have then been able to have continued to sell it like normal. But because they turned around and said, whoa, refinery's not going to take it, I can't buy it for that amount and this and that. So obviously they're not going to be able to sell it for that amount anymore. But had they just carried on like business as usual, how many people would have been stoked to have bought 50-cent pieces at $10 below spot and just gone on their merry way?
But
everybody.
Business
as usual made that scene happen.
But business as usual, Pirate, is LCS is selling to refineries. That is business as usual. That's the way that you're able to walk in and they can give you 15 grand because they're going to turn around and sell it to the refiner.
Right? You know who's screwing you? The refiner is who is screwing the LCSs. That's who I blame, because the refiners are the ones holding on to bags and bags and bags of silver, not paying people out until they process it. And then guess what? When silver dumps 15%, all of a sudden they process all the crap silver for these LCSs, pay them out at bottom dollar when nothing's changed. They haven't actually processed the silver. They just paid them out when they chose to. They're the ones that have created this like constrained system. Now they might legitimately be backed up where they can't process all the pure that they have into the COMEX bars. We could go a layer deeper and say the problem is the COMEX paper system being whatever 350 contracts to 1 per ounce of silver. That's a little bit of a problem too. That creates an artificial demand for this stuff. But there's a lot of problems, but it's not the junk silver's fault. It hasn't, like, you could still if you guys want to liquidate your junk silver, go to the store and use 50-cent piece for 50 cents. It's still American currency. It's still accepted. It still is money.
Whoa, take it easy. Nobody's getting crazy, Dragoon. Look, the thing is, I think you have to take that one further, because the refinery is another link in the chain. It's the banks that are not loaning the money to the refineries that's shutting that process down, because that helps keep the number down for the banking system.
I wondered how you were going to get the banking system into this. That's the angle. I'm like, somehow the banks are going to get pulled into this argument.
Well, that's also why the LCSs aren't buying, Pirate, right? Because if they can't get money, they need cash to purchase silver, right?
Right.
And the sellers of silver need cash. That's the whole purpose, right? And we talk about metals or money. Well, then why are we exchanging them for something else? But beyond that, if the LCS only has, let's say, $200,000 a day to spend, and 90% is in extremely low demand and 999 is in a very high demand, why would they be buying 90% when they would rather just keep their cash flow to purchase the stuff that's more in demand? That's why I think this is a short-term problem that will equilibrium out at some point.
Well,
I mean,
my personal thought is that it's actually going to get worse before it gets better. That's my personal thought.
Well, it is getting worse. Did you guys see Vermillion's latest video? He said that now shops are actually going in the direction of not buying silver at all. They're just getting out of the silver business altogether.
I've heard that too. I actually kind of predicted that was going to happen.
I mean, so, I mean, like, it's kind of like, you know, whatever. This is going to be a horrible example, but you can have collectibles, or you can have something that you say, this is worth a lot if I can just find the right buyer, right? And the reason I love gold or American Silver Eagles is everyone is the right buyer versus 90%, you got to find the right buyer. And that just, to me, just seems like, I guess the other thing too, like, I feel like stackers have just overlooked this because we just love the 90% so much, the history. I like it, the mint marks, the cool factor, but it's literally half-breed silver, right? It's not pure silver. What?
And it never has been.
Right, exactly. And then it's all slicked out. It doesn't even weigh what it's supposed to. It doesn't tell you how much it weighs on the coin. I mean, there's so many problems with
any half-breed
90%. Yet
that was not a racist remark. It was not. That was not meant at anybody in the stream watching.
A half-breed
fish. Would you buy
wait,
sterling silver?
Hold on. Pirate. Is a mixed race considered a half-breed?
Well, I think technically you'd have to be half and half.
Right. Well, then I've got two half-breeds, so I don't see how that's racist. But, okay. I mean, my wife ain't white, so you know what I'm saying? I mean, they're half, right? I don't know. If that's
Nobody's
a racist term, my
racist,
bad.
right?
I didn't realize that was a racist term. We are not politically correct on fish time. But I just, it's like, to me, there's so much that's been overlooked about 90%, and I've stacked a lot of it, but we overlook it. And now, even when people don't even want to buy it, we still refuse to acknowledge the flaws in 90%. It's like 90% can do no wrong. I don't get it.
So you just said that some LCSs aren't even buying silver. Does that mean that all silver has failed us?
It could be if no one ever buys silver again, right? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but okay, did the cassette tape fail us? Yes. Did some stuff goes away. Now, I don't think silver's ever going away. It's used, it's industrial, totally different thing. But if there's no way to sell it, I mean, it's just, if there's no way to sell it, there's no way to sell it. I don't understand.
I got you, but I listed 5 ways that you could sell your junk silver today if you really wanted to. Like, just at the beginning of this.
But someone that at 15 or 20 times back, I mean, that's crazy.
I hear you, but 15 times back is what right now? I mean, hold on. What currently we're at $67 face. 15 back's 52. I'm sorry, man, but that's a heck of a good run up. That's a fair price for something that requires a lot more processing time, right? It makes sense why they're doing that.
If I bought an eagle and if I bought an ounce, a 1 ounce eagle, and I bought $1.40 face back in 2000, and I held them till right now, which one did better, right? One of them's failed me. One of them's doing pretty darn good. And we're saying, well, it's doing good enough. The little guy's doing all he can, you know. I mean, come on. I don't. I do get your point though. If you got a diversified stack, you know, I get that. I totally get that, and I agree. And
if you don't have a diversified stack, you should probably learn from this period in time, though. But also, if you were to ask me what do I recommend, which nobody, like, this wasn't a conversation about what do I recommend people buy. I say very clearly your first 50 ounces should be the cheapest damn $9.99 you can find.
There you go.
Under spot or spot if you can get it.
That was going to be my next question. You're brand new Timmy in. You've got $1,000 to spend. What would you spend it on? Silver, gold? Which kind of silver? Copper? What would you guys spend your $1,000 on today?
Today, probably gold.
Gold for you. Okay, you got no metals. You got what? A quarter ounce of gold? Not even.
Yeah, still got $1,000 worth value.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'm always of the opinion. I've always liked to do a little variety. So if you were just getting going, I mean, the ratio is pretty low, but it seems like it might stay lower than I thought it was going to be, you know, or whatever. But I would probably get maybe a couple grams of gold and some silver eagles, something like that. Like a little bit of diversity. Start building that into your stack, and you buy a little bit. If you're just starting, once you have a decent little stack going, then maybe you're like, oh, I want to focus on this or that. But diversifying is good, and if $1,000, you can diversify up with that. You know what I mean? I'd probably stay away from platinum and palladium personally, at that amount, if that's all you had to invest in. But
yeah, but fish, for continuity here, gold has yet to be any, like, there's been almost no impact on LCS's purchasing gold from people in this entire run up. Gold has gone up quite a bit too. Like, we forget that. And there's been never a time that I've heard any LCS say that they're going to stop purchasing gold. It's been extremely liquid, just like you were talking about. It holds its value longer. It's less volatile. So even if there is a drop in all metals, gold is probably going to move at half the rate of speed that silver does, giving you more time to make a decision and get to the LCS. And you know that they're going to buy it. Like, it fits all the things that you're complaining about with junk silver, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, American Silver Eagles fit everything too. That
well, yeah, but you're paying a $10 premium on
every
those.
other metal in the world, freaking platinum and palladium fit it. Everything fits it. There's only one thing out there that sucks. There's only one piece of trash.
Okay, so you're okay paying a 12% premium over spot for an American Silver Eagle, but you're not okay getting a 15% back of spot sale of junk silver that you can buy back of spot.
15% back. It's that when I go to the store, they won't buy it. And it seems to be getting worse. It seems to be spreading like a freaking pandemic, right? It's not getting better. It's getting worse. And more places are not buying it. And I feel like the community has their head in the sand. And I'm not saying go out and sell what you got, because you're not going to get good value for it. So wait till premiums come back and they start buying. But I would not. I mean, me personally, I am not buying junk. I'm all about stacking silver, gold, platinum, palladium. I just wanted to stack stuff that if I decided, I mean, here's a classic example. My freaking man fridge that I've had for like a long time, it just crapped out on me. I go in there, I grab a Diet Coke, it's dead. I knew it was dying, it's now dead. I got to go buy a refrigerator tomorrow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, stuff happens. Now, for me, it's fine. I got cash, I'll go buy a refrigerator. But I just don't want to stack stuff that I can't. It's crazy.
I think that if we're patient, look, there's going to be at least another year of this, at least from what I can tell based on the quantity of contracts in the CME group and the way things are going, at least a year. Because they keep kicking the can down the road. Like 15-20% of the contracts get absolved into cash or delivery or punted to the next month, right? So it's eventually going to peter out. All this like hyperbolic volatility and interest, right? I have a feeling that it might be another year after that for sure, because the LCSs have been burned, right? They have a sour taste just like you do. And they're not going to be until demand comes back for it. But you yourself said that in history, you used to get it, like 20% over spot, I think is what you said in one of the comments to me. You don't even need that to come back. All you need is to get close to spot again. And you've significantly increased your buyback.
Well, I may have misspoke, or I didn't, or was refining the wrong thing. But basically, historically, junk silver, you buy it at melt and you sell it 2 to 3 back to the LCS. You buy and because it's always been considered, the reason it's so popular, it's the least expensive silver out there, right? That's how it's always been. Aside from that post-COVID spike where it was more expensive than Eagles, I had no idea why. The Christian financial advisor, he has an awesome channel, and he did a whole thing, explained it. I was like, whoa, this dude's brilliant, right? So if you want to know why that happened post-COVID, go watch his channel. You can find the video. But other than that little anomaly, it's always been very dependable, very reliable. You buy it at melt, it's the cheapest silver. That's why it's recommended by everybody. It's always been great, and I don't think what anyone saw coming was this, right? Because everything else is doing. I will say, like, I like to be contrarian, even to myself.
Yeah.
So there is certainly an opportunity if I believe that, hey, this is going to come back, and I can pick it up at a discount now, and then it's going to come back. I'm going to be buying it at a heck of a discount, and when it's finally selling at just 2 back or selling at melt or whatever, that's going to be nice. Now, my question though is does silver have to pull back so much that when it finally does that, it's pulled all the way back? I don't know, because I feel like silver's not stopping anytime soon. So there definitely is a case to be made from a speculative, from an investment side, from a like, hey, junk's on sale. But if you're someone who at all thinks, hey, I want to be able to actually sell it if I need to, like to your point, this could go on another year or two. I like what I think Pirate and I agree on this one thing, that it's spreading. It's like a freaking plague, and it's just spreading. It's getting worse, But there are opportunities. I don't disagree.
Yeah, go ahead, Pirate.
Go ahead, Dragoon, because then I'm going to take a minute.
Okay, I'll give you your minute. My just thing is like, I just don't feel like you should take away, 40 years of history. There's probably been, I would imagine, 2 or 3 other times in history where this has happened. Probably in the last, the other run-ups as well. And I just don't think that. I just feel like it's short-sighted to say, oh, nobody should buy it or nobody should have it, or because you couldn't sell it at a point in time when everything was about as crazy as it's been in 20 years, right? I just think that just be patient, wait. When I buy, just so you know, I do still buy junk silver, and I also buy like you said, American Silver Eagles or Buffaloes or whatever, more premium 999, I guess you could say, because I just kind of split it up, and I want to have always some generic just in case I do need a quick flash sale or something. But I have sold myself. I've sold quarters and dimes on peer-to-peer networks, and I've gotten just barely under spot for them. There are outlets, so for me, this is almost like a non-issue, right? I don't know, but go ahead, Bart.
Yeah, well, I'm going to jump in first by saying if I had 1,000, I would buy 10 silver gold eagles. I think that silver is going to see a bigger by percentage run up than gold will in the near future. That would be me. So nothing wrong with gold. Next thing is, I think we, at the end of this, and you kind of just touched on it, put where we stand today. And the fact of the matter is, I don't have a lot of money to stack with, and I don't have a very big stack. So for me, liquidity is necessary in my life. It just is. So moving forward, personally, I won't purchase any 90% silver. I'm looking to purchase 3/9 fine. I'm out of the numismatic grab. I'm out of the percentages. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't barter and trade for things like that. But as far as put my money towards it, I'm going all the way for 3/9 fine silver that I can take anywhere, anytime, and move if I need to. So as far as that goes, you just answered. You're still buying some of each, and then I'm pretty sure Fish is done buying 90%. Where are you at with that, Fish?
Yeah, I mean, it's just really hard for me to pull the trigger on 90%. I'm not convinced that I guess because I'm actually a silver bull, and I think I get the rap that I hate silver. I don't. I love silver. It really feels like silver is going to be taken off. And what we're seeing is this correlation between the better silver does, the worse junk performs. And so I feel like we're in for a world of hurt in the junk silver market because silver is going to be booming. So if for me personally, I want to keep stacking, but I'm just going to really kind of streamline towards Maples, Eagles, Britannias, just the sovereign stuff. And with an emphasis towards Eagles, 10-ounce bars are getting crazy, so I don't think I want to go there. And I just kind of I'm more of a gold stacker than a silver stacker, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Nice.
I think inherently to me, when I hear the word stacker, I instantly see something that is like long term and that's going to continue to grow over time. Like the idea of stacking something takes time, and like you get one piece, then the next piece, and the next piece. So I don't feel like if you're a stacker for any period of time over 5 years, I don't feel like this conversation is going to have much weight, because I think there's going to be an equilibrium at some point here where things will go back to normal.
Hey, Pirate, I have one question for Dragoons, and then if you could roll with what you were going to say. But in my video, I talked about, like I said, make an argument that it won't happen again. And so I asked that because, yeah, you know what, I do think prices will normalize. And so, but someone, if silver one day, silver's pumping from 300 to 500 or whatever, I'm just saying, I mean, who knows, right? We just pumped from 30 to 100, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not unrealistic that we could be at 300 one day and pumping to 500. And who's to say that that's not going to happen again? And now you actually are in that phase of your life where you are looking to sell, because it is 15 years later, and you've got some retirement on, and you've got some things you want to do with it. So it's not so much that I don't think it could that's going to come back. It just has kind of, to me, it's like it showed its true colors, and I know that's a little hyperbolic about it, but that's kind of so I'm like, how do I know this isn't going to happen again the next time it's pumping?
I think that's fair, but 300 to 500, comparing 30 to 100. 30 to 100 is 3x, 3 times more. 300 to 500 is what, like 70, 150% more, or whatever. Sorry, not 150, excuse me.
Well, I mean,
75% more, whatever. So it's not that big of a deal.
95.
The difference is, though, is that, like, it's the rate of this price change. Will it ever happen again? Well, if it does, guess what? Now you're going to be selling, 20 spot back or whatever it is, and you're going to be selling for what? 75, 80 X face. Like, are you really gonna be upset at that point? I don't know. I feel like it's fine. I feel like it's working as intended. But if you're in it short term and you're just trying to get in and get out, or you're getting in and you might have to get out really quickly, I would not recommend constitutional. I wouldn't even recommend precious metals, to be quite frank. I would recommend a high yield savings account or something, but that's beyond the point. But I just feel like the metals are fine. And if it was $500 an ounce, honestly, I'd rather have quarters, dimes, and half dollars that I can get. If I needed to sell for $100, I don't have to go sell a whole ounce, and there goes $500. I don't know. I feel like it kind of fits that scenario too.
Well, yeah. And I'm gonna interject because I think you just said it yourself. If I'm in the long haul for 5 years, if I commit 5 years. Let me give you this analogy. Prices go up at the grocery store, right? We've all dealt with that. Things get better in the economy, but meanwhile, the prices come down, but they've taken out a certain percentage of the food, right? We see this everywhere. So it's like, oh, look, the prices came down, but I'm only getting 3/4 as much meat, right?
Yeah.
So we're dealing with this situation where nobody wants to give any back. Right? So my concern is if I go 5 years deep into this fun little experiment and silver does go ballistic and climbs, that wall, that barrier that we're at right now, it could very well become worse. I mean, we think we're having a hard time moving it now, even though there are other places, but you drop the price enough and you've got something that moves, right? But 5 years from now, we could be looking at a scenario where it's half of where it's at right now. And we just don't know. I mean, that's the experiment, right? That's the risk we take. So, I mean, you could drive in the wrong direction and hope for the best. But why take that risk is really where I'm at with it.
I'm going to go ahead and just say it then. If we're that concerned about the US dollar equivalency to a precious metal, then it's hard for me to understand why we would call precious metals money and real money if we're wholly dependent on its convertibility to US dollars to be purchased for other goods. Is it like, why do you even
I don't think it'll be that long before there aren't US dollars to purchase with it.
Well, then
personally,
then that whole problem wouldn't be a problem anymore.
Well, it becomes another unique situation that you then deal with. But, I mean, there's a lot of ways. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's got to do what they're comfortable with.
Dude, they ain't never going to stop printing money. Everyone talks about the dollars going away, and I'm like, the thing that they print to infinity is going away?
Well, it's not only that, but we just secured even more petrodollar strength in the last couple of days. Just put it that way.
I don't see it ever going away. The purchasing power is going to be a lot different, that's for sure. And that seems to be going away. But I think that's maybe what a lot of people mean.
Which is why you want assets, so that they can keep up with the rate of inflation of the currency of the country you live in, right? I mean, that's a tried and true method for everybody around the world.
So I will say, you Dragon, so you came to the stacking game a little bit later, and you got into a bunch of other assets. What is it that? Because I think it relates to this topic of like I care about the reliability of metals. Are they reliable? Are they not? I think certain types aren't. Right. That's the whole discussion here. My take on junk silver. But with that said, what was it that? Because for me, it's be my own bank. That's where I'm coming from. That is it. Be my own bank. So where are you like? because you're in all these other assets, and then you looked at your portfolio at one point and said, wait, I'm missing metals. What was it that drove you to metals?
So the first, there's two main points here. So yes, I had pretty much investments in almost all other asset classes for like the last 25 years. I've only gotten into precious metals in the last 4 or 5. I've owned them longer than that, but I didn't really start like intentionally purchasing and trying to increase my asset ratio with that until the last 4 or so years. The purpose was I was legitimately looking at the amount of cash that I had, and I said, I don't want this much cash just sitting in different bank accounts. It's not doing anything, right? We all talk about inflation. We talk about, the debasement of the currency, and I was trying to figure out what to buy at that point. And I was looking at real estate, I was looking at crypto, I was looking at stocks, I was looking at different types of commodities, and ultimately I felt like everything was pretty much overinflated and in some sort of bubble or partial bubble. And I started looking at gold and silver, and I said, look, these these assets they normally were slow and steady, right? That was the whole thing. That's why people talk down on them, is because they were slow and steady compared to other assets. I said, look, it doesn't look like these have had the same types of rate of growth as all these other asset classes, just looking at basic charts and analysis. And I said, okay, I'll start buying into that. I started buying into silver particularly. And I was buying kilos and 10-ounce bars and all that kind of stuff. Like, again, I was buying generic 999 silver. I intentionally didn't buy junk silver, ironically, because in my mind, I was thinking, why would I pay more for something that is even harder for the general public to know what it is? Like, it just didn't even click. Like, it didn't make sense to me at all. I was just coming from a pure, like, financial area. Well, and so that's what I bought.
I will say, I mean, you timed the market great.
I mean, who knows?
Well, yeah, hey, man, I like the analogy, a dead clock's right twice a day, and even a blind squirrel finds a nut. But that wasn't your case. You looked at it like, hey, I got a lot of cash. It's just sitting here. That's actually like one of the I've really been working on stacking cash better, because, man, I look at my cash, I'm like, it's just sitting there, what is it doing? And I put it to use, and sometimes I can get cash poor and asset rich, and it's like, yeah, but I do need some cash, so I don't have to sell my metals, so I can,
and it's okay to shift from like one asset into cash and then into the next asset and try to play it. But you need like three things, right? You need 3 things to take advantage of an opportunity. One, you need the knowledge and the ability to acknowledge that the opportunity exists, right? Then you need some sort of liquid capital, like some way to get capital quickly to take advantage of that opportunity before the door closes. And then number 3, the thing you need is the gonads to actually jump on the opportunity, knowing that there's risk involved, right? And like, if you have those 3 things, you're good to go, right? I mean, but that also, so the second point of that, so that was the first reason. The second point of that is I started to kind of like lean more into like the whole like prepper / isolationist, kind of like you were talking about, be your own bank. And I also have a background. I do quite a few things, but I also have a background in software engineering at a pretty high level. And I've seen kind of the direction of where digital things are going and security is going. And I'm looking at this and you start to realize eventually, like, a lot of people, 90% of your wealth and assets are tied up in digital things, whether it's the stock market, right? Mutual funds, which are just literally on a digital ledger, your bank account on a digital ledger, and all this stuff. And like, all it takes is just one bad thing to happen where that information gets, taken out, so to speak. And then you've lost everything. And, or a bank, in talking about bank to Pirate's point, a bank can just literally say, oh, we are going to limit the amount of withdrawals to, $5,000 a day, or, whatever. Just simply stop doing it. Yeah, they are. So I was like, I don't want to be in this situation. So I need some sort of other thing. And the reason these precious metals fit the bill for me also is because they're physical, right? It's not like real estate. Real estate's a lot harder to sell and takes a lot longer to sell. So land is the same way. Oil is ridiculous. I'm not going to ever hold like physical oil, right? So you've got these things, you can have these assets, and then I could also have the fractionality of them and sell it off as in chunks if I need to, or in big chunks or small chunks, right? So it was kind of my way of becoming my own bank, but also having, a percentage of your net worth in something physical that can't be taken from you if somebody just decides to shut you off, right? So I was looking at a lot of this stuff. You look at all the social credit scores and You guys should all, everyone that's watching this should go read the Signed into Law Genius Act. It passed the House, it passed the Senate, and it was signed into law by the president. You need to read and understand the Genius Act to know where the currency of the future is going in this country.
We will definitely check that out. So, and this has been a great discussion. I Pirate, your point on the banks not backing the refineries. That was very interesting. And I understand where you're coming from, Dragoons, on this thing. And you're looking long term. I get it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just a wuss or something. I like my metals liquid.
Everybody good to see you as well, Matt.
What this has shown me
Appreciate you guys.
Also
Littlefoot,
just another
Canna,
same topic, slightly different. What do you think about pre-33? Because pre-33 kind of laid an egg during this whole gold run up. It went from pre-33 has a natural premium to like if you bought pre-33 with a premium, then gold ran up, your premium got eaten up, and now it's selling at melt, which is where you bought it essentially. I think pre-33 really laid an egg, and it kind of scared me off from that.
You know what I think? Here's what I think. Hold on.
Busting out the pre-33. I knew if I brought it up, we could get it out.
We'll just dump it. No, I'm doing your 100 pieces of gold challenge.
Yeah.
So, no, this is some Mexican pesos, pre-33, other constitutional type stuff. But
I love pre-33. It's one of my favorite golds for sure.
Give me more.
I don't think it's ever going to be an issue as far as not being liquid. But I was disappointed that maybe I was stupid to have paid premiums on it when I bought it, because pre-33 has always kind of carried a little bit of a premium. Sometimes you can find it at better deals at the LCSs, but even the LCSs, a lot of them, because they kind of understand the numismatic aspect to it, and it's like, I'm kind of disappointed in pre-33. But hey, if it just stays at melt, man, I'm happy to buy because I don't mind my 90%. I don't know. So I don't know what you guys
I would tell you, I don't buy like high-end numismatic pre-33. I buy stuff that's very, very close to melt or at melt. I was buying my LCS out of like 2.5 Indians and stuff like that. I'll look for deals every now and then for
like the half eagles and stuff.
Yeah, I just quarter eagles and everything. Yeah, I just look for literally. It's kind of the same way I look at junk silver, or not junk silver, but my generic silver is like, I don't really care what it looks like. I don't care what depictions on it. I want it as close to that spot price as I can get within reason. So
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's kind of how I look at gold. But this whole just run up has, for me, it's kind of shown me that there was a time where it just didn't matter, and I feel like what it has shown us is that quality matters. There can be liquidity issues if you don't got the quality, and so that's kind of where I'm.
What it's also kind of showed us is that, I'm not trying to make people upset, but if you can't turn in your precious metals for something that can get you the goods and services that you need, maybe we're looking at it the wrong way a little bit right now.
I put the last of my savings into these pirate rubber ducks. I think it's a good move. For the most part, I got a screaming deal on them, and that's where I'm at. So I'm glad we had this talk tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. What is that, pirate?
No, what's that?
Yeah.
Well,
is that silver?
The pirate duck?
What? This?
Yeah.
No, it's a belt buckle, actually.
You should send that over to FG and have him sandcast that thing for you.
Oh, I thought it was silver. I'm like, holy cow, man! You got a silver pocket watch? That's incredible.
Hefty. I got some things. I got some treasure. I'm a pirate.
I know.
This has really shown me just how wide the crevasse is between you two and me when it comes to stacking. I think you guys are probably in that 1%, and that's awesome. That is definitely something to aspire to, and you're doing it all right. So I can't really argue with anything you're saying.
Raging Elephants just ask us for our thoughts on gold backs.
I do. You don't have time, Fish. Do you have time?
Well, my general thing is they're cool. I'm not stacking them. you know, that's basically it, right? And the counterfeit that is clearly coming down the road at some point.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
It's
They
got.
counterfeit Rolexes. You don't think they're going to counterfeit Goldbacks?
Yeah, I like where their head was at with it. The prepper in me loves being
Mhm.
able to pay for things with not currency, fiat, but it is one of those situations as it goes higher and higher. You know, if you got in early, there's money to be made there, but getting in late, it's going to become more difficult to move. That's
Yeah.
really probably the reality of that situation.
What's your thoughts, Dragoon?
Well, I think they're nice little decorative pieces of art. I think they're
Yeah.
great. I agree with what Pirate just said. I think that their mission statement ideology is great to try to build a network of businesses and stuff that will accept them and grow them. They're trying to, like, you know, get distributors and stuff to, you know, wholesale them out to smaller shops and individuals to sell them to other individuals. Like, I understand the model. I get what they're trying to do, and they're trying to, like, make something cool and exciting. It reminds me, honestly, the whole system reminds me a lot about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin was first getting started, where it was trying to get a lot of people on board, and then it was trying to get a lot of businesses to accept it, and then they changed the entire infrastructure of payment services so that they could accept it. Very, very interesting similarities there. The only thing about Bitcoin, I mean, not Bitcoin, excuse me, sorry, Goldbacks, that I would say is, I don't, like, they set their own prices. They set their own exchange rates. They do all this stuff to keep their middlemen kind of paid through that system. That's why you pay such a premium. It's not because it took so long to develop technology, whatever. At the end of the day, if you're getting like a Goldback and it's got like 3 flakes of gold in it, right? And that you can never really extract out of it, I would say, just go buy fractional gold. Go buy a dos peso, or go buy a 1/100th or a 1/1000th or a 1/250th, whatever piece of gold. Anybody that's going to accept Goldbacks, I feel like, as a business right now, would also accept gold for payment.
Yeah, I'm with you. Fractional gold is where it's at. Well, all right.
And I agree. I think gold's going to see a bigger run up. I think everybody wants it, and get it while you can, for sure. Again, this is one of those scenarios where we assume everybody can drop $200 or $300 here or there, and that is the appeal of the Goldback, is something fractional that you see going up. So I do understand that, but I just have been around long enough that if we've got a problem with 90% getting taken off our hands, we're definitely going to have a problem with Goldbacks.
That's a good point.
Getting taken off our hand at some point. So,
and not only that, but we're in the run up right now, Pirate. Imagine if gold fell 50%, who would want the Goldbacks then?
As long as they fell accordingly, I'd want the gold. We'd all want the gold. I mean, that's...
yeah, because your exchange rate would drop 50% as well, because it's just a direct correlation to the price of gold.
With that said, there is a big. What do you guys think that we're coming into Monday after the shenanigans in the Middle East kicked off? They're saying stock market crashes mean silver and gold run-ups this week. You guys see that happening?
I see. Well, just looking at the market, gold is currently 53.64, crazy, and silver is at 94.66, with platinum holding steady at 23.90 and palladium at 18.47. So metals are pumping. I think that they're gonna. It seems to me like this is, because there's no way this is just over. I mean, not immediately. This seems like something bigger to me.
Well, they said it would be a 3 to 4 week campaign, right? Already.
Yeah, and it's. I don't think the stock market's gonna. Are the futures down, or is the stock market crash? Would this crash the stock market?
I mean, there's typically, like, if it's going to be a long, drawn-out system where we've got terror attacks in the USA, we've got, escalations happening beyond what's expected, and more countries get involved, which is kind of all those things are already starting to happen, right?
Yeah, flight to safety, it happens,
So yeah, there's a chance that there's a pullback. Now, if again whether it recovers or not, I mean, we've got an 86-year history of, yes, it has always recovered, but that doesn't predict the future, right? But we'll see. I mean, I will say this: I think oil price is going to go up a lot, and when oil price goes up, here's the news flash: all goods and services go up across the country, because that's all of our logistics. That's everything. People going to work, people buying groceries, people buying clothes. All of it comes on a ship, train, plane, automobile, right? So that oil price is definitely going to be going up.
Yeah. Well, bros, we're just about at the 1 hour mark. I try and limit these things to an hour so everyone knows what they're getting into. I appreciate both of you coming on. Obviously, what you're most concerned about is how did the poll end up? Who is making the best case for their position? Now, granted, it's on my channel, so I pulled a 46%, Pirate got a 25%, and Dragoons got 30%. To not even pull 50% on my own channel, I feel like obviously
it's an even spread.
Right? Yeah. I mean, the whole thing was rigged in my favor, and I could barely even pull 50%. So I think we all made some pretty good cases, and I think everyone. I mean, you know, it just depends on where you're at, right? And I think that's kind of the big picture there. And those ducks that you have there, Pirate, are incredible, by the way.
The ducks are hot.
How do I get a rubber ducky?
Keep wanting, my friend. Keep wanting.
I need a rubber ducky.
Hey, nice to meet you, Dragoon. That was great.
That was a good conversation.
You guys clearly know what you're talking about, and that's fantastic. I had a good time. Thank you for having me.
How did you like the song?
You should play it louder for one more time.
One more time. All right, we're gonna go out in style. We're gonna reset. Let's bust out the song. This is the debut of. Here we go. Junk silver in the soil. Let's let it rip.
Well, can't cash out, can't help your health. Nobody wants it, it just sits on it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Moss on my boots, cold in my hand.
Thanks for watching, everybody. It was a good time.
Bag full of metal.
Fun conversation. I kind of made a little more extreme than I really felt in some places, just to have some fun, but it was good stuff.
Rusty old jaw, pine tree roots, long time. Thought I had treasure in a shoebox safe, counting tarnished faces in a one-room place. Tried to hit the pond, they just laughed, what's this? Paying by the ounce, their face don't mean. Fee on the scale, spread on the deal. Watch my savings evaporate, ain't real. Walk through the forest, pockets just clang. Dead weight dragging on my hip, no bang. All that talk about history, rare and rich, but I'm stuck with scrap I can't even flip, yeah. Junk silver in the soil, that's trash well. Can't cash out, can't help your health. Nobody wants it, it just sits on a shelf. You ain't stacking for the future if you can't sell. Junk silver in the soil, that's stuck dream. Locked in metal that can't hit streams. Price look nice till you face the spread. You just holding dead weight by the bed. Homie said buy bars, buy truth. Not this change, they pedal to the youth. Liquor store counter, dusty little trays. Sell you old coins like you score all day. I learned slow by the moss in the rain. Counting up losses, counting my pain. Could've had cash in a solid clean stack. Instead I got bags, I can't move back. Trees stay quiet, but they still teach game. Only keep something you can trade by name. So I leave that tarnish under dead oak leaves. Let the earth take back what it can't redeem, yeah. Junk silver in the soil, that's trash well. Can't cash out, can't help your health. Nobody wants it, it just sits on the shelf. You ain't stacking for the future if you can't sell. Junk silver in the soil, that's stuck dreams. Locked in metal that can't hit streams. Price look nice till you face the spread. You just holding dead weight by the bed. Junk silver.
What'd you think, Pirate? What'd you think?
Love it. Great song.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, this was awesome. Everyone in the chat, appreciate everyone hanging out. It was awesome. The chat was firing. We had like 125 at one point. I got let's see. I have one other song that I'll play for you guys. One other song. I did a let's see if I can get it real quick. I might not be able to get it. I'll try. Let's see. I did a little like song for Senior Palcho. Let's see. How do I get it? Actually, I don't know if I can get it. I take it back. I take it back because it's an audio. Oh, wait. Oh, I know. I got to go to audio. My bad. My bad. Okay, let me try again.
Get it together, Fish.
I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. This is Senior Palcho's song. I made a song for Senior Palcho.
Nice.
So I figured, and then we'll go out on this. This will be the last one. Basically, he's haunting your dreams, is what this song is about. And he's stealing. He's stealing your gold. All right. Let's see. It's loading. All right. So there we go. Senior Palcho. Let's go.
To shade, zip smile creeping, you're already away. Hey.
Leather skin, little zipper grins in the poucho in the shadow by the nightstand. He don't talk, he just talk, then expand. Turn a bedroom into borderland quicksand. He got gold fever in his eyes that glint. Every peso in the house start to sprint, but they can't run far when he smell that scent. Dream dust on him, he can track every print. When it whisper, that's my outlaw crush. Men go hush when they feel that rush. Silver sweat dripping down their clutch. He just laughs, turns pillows into dust. Senior Palcho, greatest gold stacker. Every coin tremble when you slide past you. If you sleep, he a dream hijacker. Mexican peso screaming, he the soul snatcher. Senior Palcho, zipper face king. Psychotic halo with a heavy ring. If you shine, better hide that bling, cause he coming for your stash while the thunder sing. He invade RM like a late night ad. Offer you a deal that you didn't know you had. In your mind there's a vault. He say unlock, tap your forehead, turn your thoughts into stock. He see under mattress, coffee can cash. See that shoebox buried in the trash. See that secret in your phone screen flash. Every little peso got a tag, he dash. He can float through a wall when the clock hit 2. Turn a safe combination in the morning dew. Psychotic, but the aim stay true. He allergic to the broke, only gold will do. Women love way he. One more time, Joe.